Mole. What is mole? Mole, you can understand if you know what is a dozen. A dozen is a set of 12 entities. A century is a set of 100. A pair is a set of 2, right? Same way, mole is set of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 entities. If I say 1 mole of oranges, that means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 oranges. If I say 1 mole mango, 1 mole mango means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 mangoes. If I say 1 mole bananas, that means I am asking about 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 bananas. That's simple, right? If I say 1 mole of this pen, that means how many pens? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 pens. So, where did this number come from? We took a standard carbon. So, we calculated how many atoms of carbon are there in 12 grams of carbon. So that number came out to be 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So this number is known as Avogadro's number. So 1 mole, whenever somebody says 1 mole, then what should come into your mind? This number. As dozen is 12, pair is 2. Same way, mole means this number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. If I ask you, give me 1 mole of water, that means I am asking you to give me 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water. If I am asking you, give me 1 mole ammonia gas, that means I am asking you to give me 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of NH3, that is ammonia, right? Same way, if I am asking 1 mole carbon atoms, that means I am asking you to give me 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of carbon. And what will be the mass of so many atoms? You know, mass of one carbon atom is 12 AMU or 12U, and mass of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 or 1 mole carbon atoms equals to 12 gram. Only the unit changes, right? The unit changes. Unit over here is 12U. When I am asking you for one carbon atom, it is the mass is 12 AMU or 12U, right? And when you are taking 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 or 1 mole carbon atoms, only the unit changes. It is in grams and it is in U or unified mass. Same way, mass of 1 mole sodium atoms, you will just say 23 grams. Mass of 1 sodium is 23U. Same way, oxygen 1 atom is 16U and the mass of 1 mole oxygen atoms is 16 grams. So that is what the power of mole is. It makes life easy. Alright. So if mass of one molecule of water is 18U or 18 AMU, mass of 1 mole water molecules, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water, will have a weight 18 grams. 1 molecule of water is 18U or 18 AMU and 1 mole water molecules have mass 18 gram. That's interesting, right? Just you change the unit and you get your answer. Next, if I say you take 1 mole carbon atoms, that means how many carbon atoms you have taken? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Same with sodium atoms, same with oxygen atoms. Now, in terms of volume, volume of 1 mole gas equals to 22.4 liter. Whether be it moles of ammonia, be it moles of hydrogen, be it moles of helium, any gas will have the same volume. When I say take 1 mole of hydrogen gas, it will have volume of 22.4 liters. If I say take 1 mole of ammonia gas, it will again have a volume of 22.4 liters. Alright. So I hope you understood most of the points. Now there are terminologies, as in you will see there is written as 1 gram atom. You will see somewhere written as 1 gram molecule. You will see 1 gram formula. So what does this means? This means you are taking 1 mole of atoms. 1 mole atoms. I'm saying 1 gram molecule. That means I'm taking 1 mole of molecules. If I'm saying 1 gram formula, that means I'm taking 1 mole formula units. And you know, anywhere mole is written, 1 mole will always be equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. All right. Why don't we see mole used often? If you go to a vegetable shop and you ask the vendor, give me 1 mole of banana, what do you think? What he will do? He will be very excited. Oh, no, he doesn't know what is mole. So he will ask you what mole is. You made him understand mole is such a huge number. This is mole. And he will be excited. Okay, I got a big order, right? But when he tries to manage those many bananas or oranges, anything you asked for, then he will understand this is a huge, huge, huge number. So when you go back asking for the supply of 1 mole bananas, what he will say? He will be blasting you out because 1 mole is such a huge number that he won't be able to manage those many oranges or mangoes or anything else. So in real life, we do not use such a big number, so you haven't seen mole being used often. We oftenly use dozen for a set of 12. If we use pair, but we don't use mole because mole is huge, huge, huge number. You just look at this 10 to the power 23. So 10 to the power 23 is huge number. That's why we don't really use mole in real life. Else, if you want, you can use, but in real life, we do not need such a big number. So, where we need mole for calculating number of electrons, number of atoms, number of protons, number of neutrons. So, you will most often see this being used for calculating all these values. So, that's it.